Hello everyone, my name is Max. I want to tell you a story about my immortality. Have you ever thought about the fact that our life is not infinite? Would you like to live forever? Do you think this is even possible? Share your opinions in the comments below. By the way, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The first time I thought about death was when I was just 6 years old when my grandfather died. I remember him well. He was cheerful, active, and just loved to joke. He always said he'd outlive us all, and while his friends were saving for funerals, my grandfather was saving for travel. He was an optimist in life, which is probably why my grandmother loved him so much. But then he was gone. I remember his funeral and how uncomfortable I felt. I couldn't believe he was gone and would never be coming back again. He was healthy and not sick at all. And when I asked my mother why he died, she said, because of age. That's when I first had a fear of death. I realized that we would all grow old and I really didn't want to die. If you don't get sick, it's not a guarantee that you won't die. You can delay this moment by leading a proper lifestyle. My grandmother had put my grandfather on a diet 100 times, and he said that he had only one life to spend on cauliflower. And yet, he was not ill at all. He was 80 years old, and he had a good, happy life. So that's what I mean. After my grandfather's funeral, I had a brilliant idea. What if I renewed my blood to become immortal? We all know that blood is like oil in a car. It is necessary for the organs to work normally. Normal blood circulation ensures the stable functioning of the body. Why not try it? A few years later, when I turned 15, I began to search on the internet for information about renewing my blood. And you know, there is one way to renew blood in practice, although not quite scientific and medical. This rather applies more to folk healings. I talked to my brother Josh about it. Do you really believe that? Into immortality? You know, I believe more in the existence of vampires than in the nonsense you're talking about. Well, I didn't expect you to understand. Just sharing information. Little brother, you have a lot to learn. Even more than not, because I was born 4 years before you. I don't care if you die before me. I care if I die, you know? Well, thank you. So you don't care about my death. Why would I want you dead? I have my own. People don't live long with that kind of sarcasm. People don't really live long. Okay, I'm off. I have to go meet my friends. I'll see you later. Come to dinner and then my mother will yell again. I lied. I wasn't really dating friends. On the internet, I found one address where they would do a type of release of the old blood and then pour in a new one. This procedure should be done 10 times every year so that the cells are updated faster and the body is in good shape. I saved up some money. It turned out that this is not even an organization, but rather a kind of woman at home. It looked pretty dubious, but she had such a well-promoted Instagram account and the prices were lower than in clinics, so I made the choice. There was an old lady inside. I said I wanted to renew my blood. She then asked me what it was for, and I said it was for my health. She asked why I came without adults. Then I replied that I was already independent enough to make my own decisions and that my health was my own business and no one else's. And then I took out some dollar bills and she changed her face. Sit down. The woman took out all kinds of jars, needles, alcohol, napkins, and wiped everything thoroughly, and me too. Rewound my hand and took blood from the vein. One small jar. Is that all? What else? Well, I thought you would pour out all the blood and then pour me a new one. My boy, you have only 5 to 6 liters of blood in your body, and if I pour it out all at once, you will just die. Well, you'll fill in a new one right away. Look, you're not a jar to pour liquid from one to the other, and I'm not a killer. After that, she put a band-aid on me and I got up from my chair. I felt dizzy instantly. Oh, what's wrong with me? Lightheadedness after blood donations is normal. And what will you do with my blood? This is my business. Well, okay. I returned home and repeated the procedure 7 more times. After 7 times, I was somehow not very well. I became somewhat pale. I lost the blush from my cheeks. I was dizzy and I was also terribly weak. It used to take me 15 minutes to get out of bed and go to the shower, but now it took me almost 40 just to wash, just because I didn't have the strength to wash faster. I also lost a lot of weight because I didn't eat much. Josh noticed this and asked what was wrong with me, but I didn't say anything. Finally, all the procedures ended. When they took another jar of blood from me, I asked when they would give me a new one, to which the woman replied, "Soon. First you need to clean your body." On her advice, I had to sleep a lot, move less, and eat more. That day, I came home, went to the door, saw my brother and waved to him, and then darkness. When I opened my eyes, Josh was standing over me, punching me in the face and looking scared. "Max! Max! What's wrong with you? You fainted!" he shouted. I didn't even understand how it happened. My brother tried to crack me, and I had to tell him everything. And then we went to that woman with Josh. My brother got knocked up angry and immediately started shouting, "What did you do to him?" But the woman behaved very calmly. She said that she was just doing her job. Then my brother made her give me my blood back. "That's impossible." "Why is that?" "I drank it." "Are you kidding me right now?" "No, I'm a sick woman. I have stomach problems. All I can eat is human blood." "You're sick." "I already said that." "Do whatever you want, but I want my brother to get as much blood as he lost." "All right." She prepared everything and poured me blood. It was not so little. I came out with a strange feeling, but I stole everything on the fact that the body just forgot what it's like to work with a full tank. I came home and slept for 2 days straight. On the 3rd day, I felt a little better and began to walk. I had a brutal appetite, much more than before. I ate 3 servings at a time, and after 2 hours, I was hungry again. My brother didn't have the time to cook for me. Then I noticed that my hair began to grow faster. Hair appeared on my chest and my nails became somewhat hard. Damn, I'm definitely healthier. I was happy. My brother thought it was just a perception of the new self and more self-suggestion, but it really was so. A day later, I woke up at night because I couldn't sleep. Somehow I felt uneasy inside. Suddenly, I looked through the window and saw a bright, beautiful moon. I've never paid any attention to it before, and I was sitting on the bed looking at the moon. And then, all of a sudden, woo, woo. It was like I wanted to talk to the moon. Suddenly, I heard conversations under the window. "Who is this howling with us? Do you know him?" "No, I don't know him. Is that you, newbie?" I climbed out of the window, but there was no one there. But the conversations continued. "Hey, who's there? Where are you?" "Oh, the human has woken up. Hush, hush. Or right now, he'll call the service and they'll take us away. I didn't eat well today. I want to eat." "Who's talking?" "Does he understand us? What the hell?" And then my heart started pounding. Damn, do I understand dogs? I asked them why they were sitting here under the windows, and one of them said, "Do you understand us? Here's a surprise. Throw a sausage." And then I was like, "Ah!" I ran into the bathroom to wash my face, and in the light, I noticed the hands. My God, they had such long hairs on them. When did they grow like this? What is this? I ran into Josh's room, woke him up, and told him that something strange was happening, that I was scared and that I was overgrown. Do you know what Josh said? "Why are you barking?" Are you kidding me? It was only later that I noticed that I was speaking in dog language and that I couldn't speak in words like I used to. Then I wrote with trembling hands, telling him to take me to the woman. We broke in on her almost in the morning. She wasn't sleeping. Josh started yelling again, and she reminded him, "You said do whatever you want. I didn't have any human blood. I ate it. There was only dog blood. Will you give me my brother back? He's turning into a dog. If you don't, I'll swear I'll just blow this place up. And the police will definitely find out about your machinations." Okay. She transfused my blood again, poured it out, and filled it up again, and I fell asleep. I woke up a couple of days later, and I felt kind of the same as before. There was less vegetation, and I no longer understood the dogs. Phew, thank God it's all over, I said to myself, wagging my tail softly.
Hello everyone, I'm Zach, and now I will tell you about my special skin. To be more specific, how I get covered with snake skin and why. I have a little secret of youth. Everyone wants to look younger, be younger, feel the same. This is especially desirable for those who know the value of time, adults. People go to great lengths for the sake of positive changes in appearance. Someone does plastic surgery, someone is limited to creams, masks, someone is saved by sports, proper nutrition, someone has good genes. But all this is a temporary pleasure, and the effect is relatively good, but I would like more. So, we in the family all look fucking young. While not using cream, never had surgery in my life, do not play sports, and even eat junk food. We have a recipe that has been tested for generations. Do you want me to share it with you? The whole family is rejuvenated by snake skin. Yes, you heard right. Even as a child, I saw how deftly my father caught snakes. Since we live in Thailand, there is no shortage of them. As far as I remember, we even cooked and ate snakes at home. Of course, you need to know which ones are worth catching and which ones are not, who is poisonous and who is not. We have a special encyclopedia on snakes at home. From an early age, Dad taught us not to be afraid of snakes, to be able to catch them, to remove the skin without damaging it, and to cook and eat meat. Our mothers and grandmothers usually carefully cut the snake skin in half while it was fresh, covered their body with it, wiped the entire skin from head to toe, thus feeding it with snake vitamins. You know that snakes have the ability to shed, right? After you rub their skin, it's almost the same with people. Our family then shed the old skin and a new one appeared in its place. It wasn't really as bad as I just said. The effect was about the same as if you were burned in the sun. Plus, we deftly prepared snake meat, which is very useful for the body. It is somewhat similar to poultry meat, the same lean, but it is pleasant to eat, especially if you know that it brings double benefits for the stomach and body. We passed this secret down from generation to generation. Everyone envied us and was surprised, but we just looked cool and kept the recipe to ourselves. Of course, over time, rumors spread all over the country that neighbors have long been used to us, but sometimes people came to see my 80-year-old grandmother, who looks 40. Not only did she have young skin, she was also toned and slim. This gave her even more youth. We even became a type of local tourist attraction. I have never smeared my skin on myself, because it was necessary to do it only after 25 years, when the cells in the body need support. Thousands of people came to us to ask for the recipe. Some even tried to get married or marry any family member so that we would dedicate them. Someone tried to give gold, money, and especially not calm down, threatened with violence. This, of course, was not serious. We lied to everyone that it was a matter of genes. But in fact, some of it really depended on our genes. As my grandmother told me, her ancestors looked beautiful even before the snakes. And only after many years they discovered this secret and began to maintain their beauty. To be honest, I couldn't understand why we shouldn't share this recipe with others, because it's a dream of any person, to preserve health and youth, especially since it still doesn't help everyone and depends on the body. But my parents and grandmother were against it. They assured me that my ancestors had saved this information for me and my descendants, so I should keep it a secret, and I probably would have if I hadn't fallen in love. Yes, I had a girlfriend. Her name was Elsa. She was beautiful. I met her not so long ago when I was looking for snakes. It turns out that she and her parents moved to live in Thailand, and she was looking at the local nature. We quickly found a common language and interests. I asked her out that night, and she agreed. I had a romantic evening on the beach, a picnic on the warm white sand. Everything was great. After a few more dates, I decided to introduce her to my family. She was very surprised to see my grandmother. We are used to this reaction and did not betray the attention. My family liked Elsa, and our relationship grew stronger. We saw each other every day. Either she came to me or I came to her. We went surfing together, went for a walk. I taught her how to hunt snakes, then treated her to meat, showed her how to cover herself with skin, shared all the knowledge that my ancestors told me about youth. Elsa called me the best and said I was too kind to her. I just asked her to keep it a secret. But that didn't happen. It turns out that Elsa is not exactly who she claimed to be. It was sent by curious youth hunters, you know. I don't even know what upset me the most when I found out what she needed me for. That I told all the secrets, or that I fell in love like a stupid idiot. Elsa just waved at me one last time and ran away. And I stood like a statue and did not know what my family would say now. They didn't pat me on the head, of course. I listened to a lot of comments from my parents and grandmother, but in the end, There was nothing I could do, so I spread this method on the internet so that people would know about it firsthand. I'll tell you right away, do not wait for an instant effect. And not in any case, do not hunt snakes yourself, because here you need a pro. Well, now that our family secret has been revealed, I want to say that after all, time does not deceive. Sooner or later, it will take its own. So don't waste it. Just be yourself. Well, we will get more snakes.